This story is about a military officer who goes to a school to teach children, but all the children of that school are very useless. How does he reform them? Let's see in today's story. So, in the beginning of the story, we see a man named Henry, who was earlier an American military officer, but now he has taken retirement because now he wants to spend his life as a teacher, for which he goes to his old school. The principal tells him that he has no experience of teaching, so he cannot get this job. But then, Henry shows him a letter signed by the authorities, after seeing which, the principal immediately gives him the teaching job and tells him that he has to teach the most spoiled class of the school, which no teacher of the school is able to teach, because all the children of that class are very useless, who listen less to the teacher and scold them more. Now Henry gets a teaching job, and the next day, he goes to the class to teach those children. But here, no student is even looking at him. They behave as if no one has come to their class, and everyone is busy in their own fun. Someone is sleeping in the class, someone is trying to impress a girl by playing the guitar, and some students are even cooking food here. Now, to attract the attention of all those children, Henry passes comments on their work. Listen, Maggie is not made in 2 minutes. It takes 10 minutes. Hey, you don't even know how to use a mobile. In this way, he attracts the attention of all the children. Then, when all the children look at him, he gives them his introduction and writes his name and phone number on the board. But seeing his handwriting, all those children start making fun of him and start laughing. Then, one of the students calls him and tells him to quietly leave. But Henry takes this as a joke and starts laughing. Now those useless kids again get involved in their old activities, which they were doing earlier, and start ignoring Henry again. Now, seeing this, Henry hits the fire spring of the class with a square, and all those kids get wet, after which all those kids get up in a hurry and look at Henry. In this way, Henry had attracted the attention of all the students. Then, he gives his introduction to all those kids and welcomes them to his class. Now, after the class is over, a group of 5 lowest-ranked backbenchers go to the sports room to smoke cigarettes. There, the leader of their group was Jack, who had a crush on a girl from his senior class. And when his friends come to know about this, they start making fun of him. Then, a group of kids of the rich and spoiled basketball player of the school comes, who get very annoyed with them. Both these groups are enemies of each other. They make fun of Jack because he is very poor. After this, when the group of basketball players was practicing, Jack was also watching them with his friends. To take revenge for his insult, Jack drops a bottle on the ground, due to which the leader of the basketball team falls down. Seeing this, Jack and all his friends start laughing at him. But while doing this, their English teacher sees them, and she punishes them. Now, to escape punishment, the students play a prank on the teacher and spill water on her table. Then, when the teacher is cleaning her desk, they take advantage of this opportunity and run away from here. Then, we see the principal of the school, who is very upset because his school's reputation is not good, due to which the education board is going to cut 20% from their annual funding. So, some people from the education board came to the school because they wanted to know if they are running the school properly or not, and how they use the funding in the school. Now, Henry goes to his class to teach those children, but there in the class, all those students had kept a bucket of water on the door to prank him. But when Henry opens the door, he hits the falling bucket and throws it away. Seeing this, all those children get shocked. Then, Henry starts teaching those children and asks Jack for his cigarette packet, because after seeing him, he understood that he must be a smoker. So then, Jack gives him that cigarette packet and thinks, what is he going to do? Now, Henry takes out a cigarette from it and asks one of them that if he tells which 3 ingredients are there in cigarette, then he can skip today's class. That student tells Henry the names of the 3 ingredients. So now, Henry gives that student permission to skip today's class, seeing which all the children bang their desks and insist that they should also get a chance to skip class. So now, Henry gives a cigarette to each of those students and asks them what happens when they smoke cigarettes, because he knew very well that if he just tells them the disadvantages of smoking cigarettes, then they will not pay attention to what he says. That is why he tells them how their lungs get damaged when they smoke cigarettes. This was the first time that all the children in the class were listening to him carefully and showing interest in studying. Then, after the bell rings, Henry asks all those children to return their cigarettes, and even Jack and his friends have to return the cigarettes unwillingly. Then, that day in the cafeteria, the captain of the basketball players knocks down Jack's friend Bruce. Then what? A fight starts between these two groups. They start throwing chairs, tables, everything at each other. As a result, the 5 kids in Henry's class are suspended for a few days because the school authority holds them responsible for starting the fight. After this, when Henry comes out of the principal's office, he sees that Jack is still fighting with them. Then Henry quickly goes there and stops them. He asks Jack to calm down, but Jack angrily says that this school is biased because, till date, the school has never punished those rich kids. Then, after school that day, Henry looks at the files of those 5 students so that he can know more about them. Now, the first kid among them was named Jufa, who was the son of a Pakistani immigrant, so he was discriminated against for being a Muslim, and even his neighbors had filed a police case against him for theft many times. Yet, despite all this, Jufa loved music very much, and his dream is to become a great musician. The second student is Dinan, whose father does not love him at all, because he wished that it would have been better if his son had been born instead of Dinan, and this is why he hated Dinan a lot. Then, when Dinan's brother was born, he loved him a lot, and treated him like a prince, but did not care for Dinan at all. Dinan tried very hard to get his father's love, for which he started playing car games like boys and living like boys. He even cut his hair so that his father would love and care for him too, but all this did not help him, due to which Dinan started feeling that no matter what he did, his father would hate him. After this, there were 2 brothers named Bruce and Chris, whose mother ran away with someone else in childhood, due to which Bruce's father became addicted to alcohol, and Bruce got addicted to video games to escape this reality. Now, Chris takes care of him and his father, and he works at a small grocery store. Then, when Henry looks at Jack's file, he doesn't find any information about Jack. Then we are shown Jack, who used to work as a waiter in a hotel. There is a man named Gianni, who is a bettor on a fight, who parties there with his business partner. While Jack is serving Gianni, he sees Gianni's fancy lighter, which Jack steals when Gianni isn't looking, but he still gets caught. So now, Gianni's men beat him up a lot, and then when they see his ID, they find out that he is a student. So then they give him some money, and Gianni also offers him a job as a food delivery boy. On the other hand, we see Henry, who had gone to meet Jufa at his house, but here both the father and son were running away after stealing a ticket, and a lot of people were chasing them. So now, Henry stops them all and justifies Jufa's father. Then, after that, Jufa and Henry go to a bridge where a band was performing. So now, Henry starts performing with that band to increase Jufa's confidence, seeing which Jufa also gets the confidence to play music, and he also joins that band, which makes him feel very good because, till date, he had never performed in front of so many people. After this, we see Bruce and Chris, whose father asks them to order beer for themselves at midnight. So both the brothers refuse, due to which their father gets angry, and he asks both the brothers to get out of his house. Then, the next day, Henry meets their father and explains to him that he should take care of his sons and understand their responsibilities, for which he advises him to go to an alcohol de-addiction center. On the other hand, Denon's father brings makeup for her and tells her that she should live like a girl because he did not want her to live like a boy. But Denon gets angry because her father never cared for her. He always showed her that Denon is not good. Now, Denon applies all that makeup on her brother's face and leaves with the car keys. But when she was driving, Henry comes in front of her and stops her and says that driving without a license is illegal. If she has to drive, she should go with him. Now both of them go for a car race, but Henry had also called her father here because he wants to have a race between the father and daughter. Then the race starts between the two, in which the father and daughter were not caring for each other at all, and both of them reach outside the track where a truck runs over Denon's car. But Denon survives, and seeing this, Denon's father gets very sad and starts crying because he did not know that Denon survived. Seeing this, Denon realizes that her father loves her very much, and she goes to her father and hugs him happily. Now, the next day, Chris and Bruce go with a group to interview a man who has recovered from alcohol, where both of them are shocked because the man they were going to interview was their own father. Now, the students ask him why he started drinking alcohol, so he tells that he loved his wife very much, but she left him alone in the most difficult time of his life and ran away with someone else, because of which he started drinking alcohol. Then, he forgot that he also has 2 children, whom he has to raise. this. He does not tell them that Chris and Bruce are his sons, but he apologizes to them, seeing which both Chris and Bruce start crying. On the other hand, we see Jack, who has now started working with Jonan. Here, Jonan asks him to mix drugs in the drink of a fighter during the next fight, in return for which he will give him a lot of money. Jack did not want to do this, but Jonan forces him to do so because he had bet a lot of money on his fighter's defeat. So now, before the fight, Jack puts drugs in that fighter's drink, but while doing so, he gets caught, due to which those people now beat him a lot and lock him in a locker. Then, after a while, Henry comes here, and he asks them if they have seen any student here. So here one of those men asks him to leave from here, but then Jack starts shouting, "Help, help," from the locker, due to which Henry understands that those people have trapped Jack. So now, he starts fighting with those people, and he alone overpowers them all. Then, finally, he fights with their best fighter, and knocks him out, who is supposed to fight next. After this, we see Jack and Henry in the hospital, where Henry was getting his wounds bandaged. Here, Jack tries to tell everything to the police, but Jonan stops him and silences him. And now, this news reaches the news media that Henry has killed a professional fighter to save his student, due to which Henry became popular in the whole school. And all the students started believing him, and they started respecting him. Then we are shown in flashback that when Henry was studying in school, he used to do a lot of mischief. And in a school program, he threw water balloons on a child playing the piano, who was playing the piano for his parents. And then later, Henry also broke the hand of that child by fighting with him, due to which Henry was suspended. That is why Henry had to go to America. Now we see Henry in class, where all the children respect him and pay full attention to Henry's teaching. They prepare for their upcoming college entrance exam with great enthusiasm. But here, everyone except Bruce is working hard in studies. But Bruce is not able to focus on his studies because he has become addicted to drugs. Then, we come to know that while Jack resorted to video games to escape from the responsibilities of his family, Bruce started taking drugs due to the stress of his family. But later, he got addicted, due to which he was not able to focus on his studies, and hence, he was not able to perform well in his mock tests. Now, seeing his condition, Henry promises to help him, but Bruce's condition started getting worse with time. He gets depressed and jumps down from his balcony, after which, when he is taken to the hospital, it is found that he has now gone into a coma. Then, the media distorts this matter and presents it to the public, and the blame of Bruce's jump is put on the school and Henry, due to which, Henry is now called to the school education board, and they cancel his teaching license. So now Henry has to leave the school. But, when he was leaving the school, many children of the school tried to stop him because they did not want Henry to leave the school, due to which they were very sad. So, all those students now decide that they will perform very well in their upcoming exam and prove to the education board that Henry is a good teacher. So, from that day onwards, they start preparing for their upcoming exam with double the hard work. Then, when the day of the exam comes, Jack, Bruce, and all the children of the class get a message from Henry's phone that he wants to meet them in the school before the exam. Then, when all the children reach the school, it is revealed that all this has been done by Jonan because he wanted to teach Henry a lesson. He now imprisons all these students in the school so that they cannot give their exam, and Henry cannot come back to the school again. But after a while, when Henry reaches the school, he comes to know everything about Jonan, that he has captured the students. So now he quickly goes towards Jonan and fights with all his men and frees all the students. Then, those students quickly leave from here to give their exam, but Henry was still fighting with Jonan. Now, during the fight, Jonan tells him that he is the same boy whose hand was broken by Henry in childhood, and because of that, he was never able to go to the music competition. Since then, he never played the piano, and he considered Henry to be the reason for all this. Henry tries to convince him, but he attacks Henry again. But in the end, when Henry was about to hit him with a knife, he stops and apologizes to him for his mistake done in his childhood, after which he leaves from here. On the other side, we see all the students who had reached the examination hall, and they give their exam. Then, after a few weeks, when their results come, all the children passed with good marks, due to which their school reaches a very high rank. Therefore, the education board also gives 20% extra funds to their school, due to which the principal of the school becomes very happy. Then, there we see Jonan, who has now started playing the piano again, and on the other hand, Bruce is also recovering quickly, and he promises that he will definitely give the entrance exam next time. Then, after this, years, we see Henry back in school, and he rains fire spring on the students of his next batch. And this is where the story ends. So guys, if you like this video, then like, share this video, and subscribe to our channel. I will meet you in the next video. Till then, you can also watch other videos of our channel.